What's up, guys? This is Billy Lewis with the Scare Network. We are live talking about our newest paranormal documentary, The Smallwood Store. Let's see, make sure she live. Yeah, we're live, so we're good. I have Tod Dahlke, one of the producers, well, probably the main producer on this paranormal documentary, Smallwood. Todd,
How's it going, guys?
say hello and just kind of introduce yourself if you would, Todd.
How's it going? My name's Todd. I live down here in Naples, Florida, just on the fringe of the Everglades here. Just about, I don't know, maybe 20 minutes from the Smallwood store.
Nice, yeah. So I'd never even heard of the Smallwood store before I was introduced to Todd, and Todd started telling me all these stories. Well, I take that back. Well, I was like, "Oh, I want to come down there," and you were like, "There's a few places," and you mentioned the Smallwood store and mentioned Edgar Watson, and I started reading up a little bit on it, and I was like, "Man, that's a pretty cool story and stuff."
Yeah.
So, how long have how long have you known about the Smallwood store? And
Well, um, I visited here a long time ago, just, because I was born in Fort Myers and I'd
Mhm.
come down to visit and always thought it was cool and stuff. And then I ended up, starting a company down here, a guide service in the Everglades. And then that's how I got to know the family and, you know, uh, went over there more often. And then one year they had a reenactment for I guess it was the 100-year anniversary of Ed Watson's
Oh
murder.
well,
Uh,
you never told me about that.
yeah, and there was like they had these actors and actresses come out, and it was a theater group that came out and did a play right there
Oh,
at the store, and they reenacted the whole thing. And that's when I was like, wow, this is crazy, and I started really looking closer into the story and you know talking to the local folks here about it, and it's just an amazing story. I can't believe it's not a movie yet. It'll be a movie one day,
yeah.
when this reaches the Cohen brothers or some other
Or
um
ScareNetwork.
yeah, when it gets to Hollywood, when some Hollywood producer hears this story, hopefully it'll trip a switch too. But for
Well,
right now, you're the
yeah.
first on the scene.
Well, I want to obviously talk more about Ed Watson and his story a little bit, but for those who me, like, I'd never heard of the Smallwood store. I mean, I'm born and raised in North Carolina, and I've been to Florida, many times in my life, mostly to Disney World and other places, but I'd never made it down to the Everglades or Naples or anything, anywhere remote like that. But just explain what the Smallwood store is. I mean, I think the history on it is amazing. The fact, this, and we touch on this in the documentary, how many hurricanes it's been able to withstand, and
Mm.
just what it is and what it means to that area, that small
Yeah, I mean,
island.
this was the last Florida frontier, way down here at the bottom of the state, and you know Florida didn't even become a state until I think it was 1840 something. So it was just wild down here, man. And the store, was the basically the focal point of the community. You went there to get your groceries and your mail, but you also went there to socialize and meet folks and trade with the Seminole that lived by there, and it was like a social mecca. There's a lot of meaningful things took place there. So all these people that lived on the Everglades and the islands back then, they were on the outskirts, but that store was kind of like the lifeblood or the heart of the area.
Yeah. So, you probably know the history better than I do, but um, was the store started in 1906? And I think it was started in a little, not in the exact location it was at right now, right? I think
Yeah,
that building was there, put there like what,
it
19?
used to be. Yeah, it used to be on the ground, the building itself. But
Okay.
after one of the hurricanes, they raised it, so it wouldn't be flooded again, and it's withstood, all the big ones: Hurricane Donna, Hurricane Irma, Ian. So it's uh, it's built to last, and God, there's no, I think about all the people that went in and out of that place, over the years for that 100 something years, uh, and all the events that happened there, the news that was given there, and that's even before we even get to the murder of Ed Watson.
Yeah. Well, think about even way before that building was even there. Think about the American Indians and whatnot
Mhm,
that lived in that land.
mhm.
Now you guys explained it. That is Chokoloskee. Is that a man-made island?
It's
Or-
what the archaeologists call a shell island. So, what these paleo people of Florida were doing were, piling up this shell material high enough to live on. And they
Mm,
did that at the mouth of important waterways. So Chokoloskee sits at the mouth of Turner River. So by living in that estuary, they had an abundance of fish and, you know, um, crustaceans and mollusks and clams and oysters, all that stuff. It's real rich there. So that's why they wanted to build there. And they had those, rivers there as their canoe highway to get, to the upland area. And they also could control access to that river too. So it was an important place, and they date that civilization back thousands of years. And there's a mound on the island there that's been dated to 2,800 BC. So they've been, things happening on that island since before the pyramids were built.
and wasn't there? I don't. Obviously, I'm not from Florida, but wasn't there a big Tallahassee War? What was it called? A
The
Seminole
Seminole
War?
Wars.
Seminole War, yeah.
hmm
When do you know when that was? What years those were?
It started, in the 1700s. It was, nationwide. There were the Indian Wars in North
Mhm.
America. And so the Seminole, they realized that Florida was owned by Spain at the time. So they began to come to Florida to, escape the pressures of the Western expansion and everything that was happening up there. So they had it made, for a long time in Florida. They were the first to encounter, well, let me back up. The Spaniards were, the first to encounter the Calusa, the Paleo people of Florida, even on that island. And yeah, the Seminoles showed up, in the 1700s, and there were three separate Seminole wars, in the state where they were trying to, you know, round all the Seminole up and make them walk to Oklahoma.
Oh, wow.
And but they were the only tribe that never signed a treaty. They never gave up. That's
Yeah.
their mantra to this day is unconquered. You know.
Yeah. So if you're just joining us, we are talking with Tod Dahlke about the Scare Network's newest kind of paranormal documentary with some hints of true crime in it with Ed Watson, and it's about the Smallwood Store down in Chokoloskee, um, Florida. I couldn't even say the name of the town when I first got there, and it took me a long time to even still learn how to say the name of it. But I met Todd through a mutual friend, and Todd and I uh, Todd and I chatted about some different things down in his area down there in southwestern Florida, and he mentioned the Smallwood Store and some other things, and I was like, man, let me take a trip down there, and man, I'm glad I did because that is that building's cool, the that whole area is cool. What wasn't cool was the mosquitoes.
Yeah, it was a tough time of year. That's
Did
deep in the Everglades, that's when you say Chokoloskee Island, it sounds almost kind of resorty, but that island is about as deep as you can go into the Everglades. It's the end of the road. And besides the mosquitoes, there's of course lots of alligators. And
yeah,
one of the nights we went out looking for pythons with the python hunters
yeah.
down here. So there's a lot of stuff, a lot of good stories to tell down here.
I know, I know. So yeah, so for those watching and you haven't seen the trailer for this for the newest documentary, the Smallwood, this coming out next week, next Tuesday, right before Thanksgiving. We just kind of wanted to put something brand new out on the Scare Network for Thanksgiving so those can watch. And so let's watch the trailer real quick, Todd, and then we'll come back and talk
Yeah,
more about the documentary itself. Here
yeah.
it is.
Chokoloskee,
This is crazy.
Smallwood Store.
We've never investigated this place.
The store was started in 1906. This building here is over 100 years old.
Ted Smallwood purchased half of the island of Chokoloskee, I believe, in 1906 for $600. It has taken on water, I believe, 6 times on this level, last time being Hurricane Irma.
This is our gem on the rough island.
It's a little piece of paradise down here. The store, to me, is authentic Florida.
We're going to stand here and we're going to be quiet.
You definitely don't feel alone down here, even when you're just walking around.
There's a lot of activity in that bedroom, and that's where I seen the shadows.
Is that his original rifle?
Edgar Watson showed up in 1890s down in Chokoloskee at the Smallwood Store looking for property to buy. Other people, they would also show up and Ed put them to work. And when it came time for payment, they were murdered and dropped in the Everglades. In October of 1910, they confronted Ed Watson about what was going on down there. And as he went for his sidearm, that's when he went down in a hail of bullets.
Now, this is where Watson was killed.
Ed Bloody Watson.
What happened to Mr. Watson?
Is that Mr. Watson communicating with us?
I don't like to come back in here after I close at all at night because there is just a feeling. It's definitely strange.
Talk to me.
The Smallwood Store has definitely stood the test of time.
They say at 2 a.m. people get chased out. You scared?
All right, so that was the trailer, the
Very
official
cool.
trailer for Smallwood. What'd you think about the trailer, Todd?
Very cool. I like the AI stuff that you were able to use too, man. That looks really cool.
Yeah. So we'll talk more about this, but we've talked about Ed Watson a little bit, but I'm gonna try to produce something more than we just touch on it just a little bit in the paranormal doc, but that was the intention from the beginning. I wanted to try to do do a full-on paranormal documentary on the location itself, Smallwood Store, and then do a separate one on Ed Watson the best I can. But yeah, so you have watched the entire documentary, right, Todd? What just not to try to give anything away, but what are your impressions of what we were able to capture and kind of put together with the time that we spent down there several months ago?
It was like you guys kind of connect the dots after going through this whole thing with you. You hear the stories, from the owners and the people that live there and the people that have had experiences there. And then the investigators come through, and during that investigations, you start to see like these, dots being connected. Like
Yeah.
you hear things on EVP that match up with the stories that we've learned so far, or names of people or places. That's the really like eerie part, man, to me anyway. That is what gives me goosebumps, is when part of the story, and then through your investigation, whether it's on your EVP device, or what's the other,
It's called a spirit box, like a
yeah,
SB7, and that
yeah,
just basically it scans through AM or FM channels, most of the times backwards. And you ask questions, and a lot of time you'll just get just kind of random stuff. But then when you're getting direct answers for questions you're asking,
yeah,
then you kind of have to suspend belief. At least that's the way I look at it. You have to suspend belief a little bit and say, hey, is a spirit communicating with me through this device? I don't know.
yeah, yeah. That to me is very interesting.
Well, the EVPs to me, and I say this all the time, no matter if I'm doing a podcast talking about other locations we've been to, or places we've been, investigations we've done, stories we produced. To me, I think the EVP, which stands for electronic voice phenomena, is the most valid form of paranormal evidence. Um, and basically what that is, and you saw some of them in the trailer, is you're in a location, and you and everyone around you try to be as quiet as possible. You try to wherever you're at in that location, you want it to be as quiet as possible, so there's no outside noise coming in. And you hit record, ask a question, pause for about 10-15 seconds, ask another question, whatever, however many questions, and stop it, play it back. And then, it doesn't happen all the time. I mean, don't think that you get an EVP every single time. But then when you do get something, I think it's pretty crazy, because
Yeah,
like I said, if everyone was quiet and there was no outside noise, where's that voice coming from on that
yeah,
recorder?
yeah. There's something there. There's definitely some layer of the onion that isn't fully understood yet. And even Thomas Edison at one point was experimenting, or had intentions of developing a patent for what he was calling the telephone to the dead, because
Yep.
he realized, or he discovered, or detected, or what, there's something here in these recordings, when you're recording ambient sound and play it back, and you can hear things that weren't you know uh weren't readily heard in the moment.
Or with your ear.
Yeah.
Now, when you do hear something with your own ear, um, that's called a disembodied voice, which we started the whole trailer off with just a disembodied voice, which was crazy because I didn't hear that in real time. And I try to, I talk about this in the documentary, is like, uh, I'm so I'm a perfectionist, and I'm like, you when I first started doing this, I was very naive as far as shooting paranormal documentaries and stuff. I was like, man, we'll just go in these locations and I'll just film a ghost just walking by, and just very, very naive to it.
Mhm.
But now I've learned over the years that it just doesn't work that way. And you kind of, these forms of communication that we're talking about, are probably your greatest way of doing a solid paranormal investigation. But you have to be um you can't force it saying something. And a lot of times I'll put some if I put evidence in there, um a lot of people be like, oh, well, that wasn't, they didn't say this and that. And I'm like, well, maybe it may not have, but at least I'm gonna put it out there and let the audience decide.
Mhm.
Now, you were with us when we did the paranormal investigation. I mean, you weren't with us the entire time. You were kind of in and out of the building and stuff. But when you watched the whole documentary, were you surprised at what we actually captured that night
Yeah,
during the
it's one thing if it just, you hear somebody say, "Get out, ooh, get out."
yeah,
But when they start, when you start hearing phrases and words that like have a direct connection to the history,
yeah,
then that's something different. That makes you like really think like, what in the heck, man?
yeah.
You know?
So I know Lynn, the owner, Lynn Smallwood McMillan, was going to join us tonight, but something came up, so she wasn't able to join us. But so you may have to be the mouthpiece a little bit for the store. But when we went in there and did what we did, I spent the whole day there, the whole night, and I think we, left around 2:30 or so in the morning, 2:30, 3 o'clock. Um, just based off of you talking to Lynn and others, did they allow a lot of paranormal investigations in there? Are they kind of selective? How many have that you
They've
know
had a
of?
couple. I think that, when you guys came in, that was the real only thorough one that they've done. They've had people come and attempt it or show up with, not really the right equipment, just, kind of thought it would be a cool idea kind of thing.
Yeah, yeah,
But I think, when we came in there, and then when Eric and his team came in to do it, I think that was the first like real, you know, top to bottom investigation that they've had.
yeah. That was fun, man. I'd never worked with Eric before. He and his girlfriend, Francesca, they did a good job. I mean, well, they did a great job, and then they came in. I don't know if you saw the amount of equipment that he
Yeah.
actually put out, and we probably didn't use half of it, but there was a back table in the back of the store, and he just had like two big suitcases worth of equipment and stuff, and I was like, oh my gosh, I'd never seen that much equipment.
Yeah.
But no, they did a good job, man, and I had a really good time working with them. But when I produce these types of paranormal docs or true crime or whatever they may be, I like to try to tell the story um of the history of the location. You can't get that with every location that you go to. Like if you go to an abandoned asylum and stuff, it's going to be hard to try
Right.
to talk to someone about the history, but you can research it and whatever. But I think this goes back to what you were saying. When you do learn the history about the location and the events that supposedly and probably historically did happen there, what is more gratifying to me and what I feel like kind of rounds out and makes a documentary more valid is when, like you said, like that you're getting references to that actual history.
Yeah.
And there was a let me play this clip. I want to play this. I don't know. I just put it out on social media earlier today, but let me play this. I think it's about 30 or 40 seconds. And then I want to come back and talk. Did I? No, I didn't upload that. Hold on. I'm gonna upload that because I want people to see that. Hold on. Let me play. Let's slow down. Here, let me play this clip real quick, and then I'm trying to explain what it is like in here. Does it feel heavy? Do you feel like there's other people around, even if there's no one here? Just kind of talk on that if you would.
Yes. So, for instance, the back bedroom. When I'm here by myself and open up, I will wait most days until somebody else comes in to go back there and open those windows. That's the room that I have the biggest problem with. Ted Smallwood's great-great-granddaughter, Ava, she does not like going over there by the mannequin of Ted. And Brandon doesn't like the window behind me down that aisle. We all have our little places that bother us, but to me it's the back bedroom. I just won't go open it.
the back bedroom. Do you know?
Yeah.
I'm uploading another clip and we'll play it here in a second. But do you what was the purpose of the back bedroom from the beginning? Did you know if Ted Smallwood and maybe they may have stayed there some? Do you know what the purpose was?
Well, I know it wasn't their main house,
Yep.
so I'm not sure who stayed there. That's the other thing too, man. I feel like we're in it. We got this history, but man, I feel like we're just scratching the surface. I feel like there's so many other stories and things that you know we don't even know about yet. We
Of
haven't
course.
even dug yet.
I mean, how could you in a location that's been there for
Yeah,
well, 120 years now, if it's
yeah,
1906, almost 120 years.
yeah.
Y y
So
y
I
but
feel like there's so much there that have yet to be found. And I always thought it would be cool, you know, to bring people in here in an organized way to do investigations. Like come in with Eric and his team, and come in here to the store and do their own investigations. And you could get people with different types of equipment,
yeah.
and other state of the art devices and things to come in and take a fresh look at it too.
Um, Now you mentioned Eric and then went back, probably a month or so after we had shot,
Hmm.
the documentary. Were you there or did you go while
Uh-huh.
they were there?
Yep.
Well, you mentioned, and this will not be in the documentary because they didn't film it, but you mentioned a clairvoyant. What exactly did the clairvoyant say?
They brought her to, a few different places, and they matched up with, like the places that that you had investigated in your trip there. That back bedroom, the place underneath the store out by the dock where evidently the murder took place, that the Watson murder took place. Um, she got readings or feelings on things that events that had happened there that we
Yeah,
still have to look into.
yeah.
So it was cool. It was a little bit of both. Like she definitely was validating some of the stuff we already knew, and then also gave us some other leads to look at.
Yeah, you're right. It's kind of overwhelming because think about, like you said, I mean, and I agree. Like, I think we're just scratching the surface because, I mean, uh, beyond the American Indians and others, I know Lynn made a comment in the documentary about that was it's not, I don't think there was a hospital in Chokoloskee. I think people had to go get their medicine from the store, right? So
Mhm.
I'm sure that probably quite a few people died on that land or
Oh,
in that store,
oh yeah,
you know.
absolutely.
um, hold on, let's see. I want to play this other clip. The one we were talking about EVPs, but I want to play this for you real quick.
Okay.
All right, let's now be quiet. And after we had a conversation about this place, let's see what this gets. Yes. Edgar, are you here? Where are you standing, Edgar?
Telephone to the dead.
Dude, that was an EVP, and um, I think before that, when people watch the entire documentary on Scare Network on November 25th, there's there was a chair right there. It was kind of hard to see in that frame, but I was right there by the door. But there was a chair right there, and I think the word chair may have come up, and it was like a direct answer. Where you at, Edgar? Now, can we prove the spirit of Edgar Watson was there with us? No, obviously not. But that was a direct answer. It's like, where are you? Hey, the
Yeah.
door. And there was, while we were there at that spot, we got several other references about Ted Smallwood, about Edgar Watson, even some potentially some members who were in the riot that killed Edgar Watson and stuff.
Mhm.
And so it's crazy, man. And this seems to always happen when I go to edit and put one of these documentaries together. You miss so much stuff in real time. And you're kind of overwhelmed, and then you go back and you got more time to concentrate and focus on it, and you get a lot more stuff than you realize you got. And so that definitely happened with this. I mean, I think we got a lot more than I had ever anticipated that we would have gotten. So, you still there, Todd? I think Todd froze up on me. He's back. You there, Todd? Did you go to the bathroom? So anyway, so we are talking about our newest documentary, Smallwood. It is about he's back.
Sorry about that.
No, you're good. It's I was just telling everybody we're talking about the Smallwood documentary. It's about the old Smallwood store down in Chokoloskee, Florida, near the Everglades. Is that considered in the Everglades or just right outside?
Absolutely, yeah. It's right in the middle of Everglades National Park.
Okay. What is, I never really grasped the area around there. Is it called 10,000 Islands? What is that? Just a lot of little islands out in that area, or what?
Yeah, they're mostly like mangrove tree islands, but there's some that are shell islands like the Calusa, like Chokoloskee. And then there's some islands that, you envision as islands with a white sandy beach and, but they're mostly mangrove tree islands, but it's just a maze. It's really easy to get lost.
Can people I'm sure they have. Do people buy those islands? Are you able to buy them and put houses?
No, it's all preserved land now.
Okay, so nobody can live on any of those islands? Okay.
No.
I wasn't sure. But yeah, so we're talking to Todd. Todd helped spearhead getting me down to the Smallwood store to to talk about the true crime and the event that happened there, well over 100 years with and then the paranormal. So let's talk about we started talking about a little bit in the beginning, but let's talk about Ed Watson, if you would, Todd. Just kind of, we don't have to get in a long drawn out story, but just kind of talk about who he is and what his association with the store is, if you will.
Well, he showed up on the run from the law, and he went just south of the store down on Chatham River and built a house there. And, that's where he had his farm, and he'd get people to come and work down there. And a lot of these people that were coming to work were also running from the law. And they didn't make it out. He, instead of paying them, he murdered them and dumped their body in the Everglades. That went on for 20 years until they finally, confronted him about it in front of the store that day, 1910.
Did you ever read the books that author wrote? The Killing.
Oh yeah, Shadow Country, Killing Mr. Watson.
No, I think Lynn told me, did that author, which she's passed away now, but didn't she say that, or did he try to I guess not recreate, but he went kind of lived like what Ed Watson lived to try to prove or disprove if he was killing his workers. Does that make sense? He kind of put himself in Ed Watson's shoes. Does that make sense or not?
I don't know if that, by the time Peter Matheson came around, that house was long gone.
Yeah.
So I don't know if he was ever able to actually stay in that house.
Not
He
stay
might
in
have when
the
he was a
house.
young.
Not stay in the house, but just kind of visited the places Edgar Watson went to the farmland, did all the stuff. I guess just to
I'm
prove it.
sure Peter Matheson did a lot of extensive research. Yeah,
What based off of his books, what are your
it's the best account of the story that we have. What he put together.
So do you think Edgar Watson was a killer? Was he really killing his farm workers, or was it his right
That's
hand
the
guy?
beauty of the story. When you and I went out to the graveyard, what
Yeah.
did we see? His headstone was the only one that had flowers on it, and supposedly he's a big serial killer, murderer.
Yeah.
So there's no telling.
A lot of people called him like the first serial killer in the either United States or Florida.
Yeah.
So that's an interesting story, and obviously his footprint is all over the Smallwood store because his blood was shed right out there. So yeah, I'm excited to put something together more about oh, look who decided to join us. Oh, wow, just this guy just decides to jump in, save the day here.
Spice things up here.
No, we're talking about Edgar Watson and
Hey, Todd.
Hey, how's it going, Eric?
Hey, it looks like I got a delay on my side. Is that just me? I look okay?
Yeah, you got a little bit of delay. You're
Looks like I'm
fine.
moving. If I close some apps.
Yeah, you're like, are you in the Matrix? What's happening?
I know, right? I don't know what's going on. I
So
have good internet.
you probably still have dial up.
No, I'm correct. I'm connected to a hard line.
I was telling Todd that we had fiber like buried in our front yard not too long ago, so our internet's like just freaking 1,000 miles a minute.
I don't know why it's doing this. This is weird.
It's fine. We can still talk. So this is Eric. Eric, introduce yourselves to the 3 people who are watching.
Oh, my name is Eric Vanderlaan. I'm a paranormal investigator in South Florida, and I'm with the Haunted Files. We're going to be a new paranormal investigative team, and also we have a show and also a podcast.
Nice. Yeah. So I contacted Eric before I went down to Florida to shoot this documentary, and we also did another documentary in Miami at the Gold Coast Museum, which we have not put together yet, but I'm excited to put that one together. But yeah, Eric, me and Todd were talking earlier just about how much equipment you actually brought to the investigation.
I bring everything just in case. Normally I just bring a backpack, but I'm like, we're filming. I might as well bring everything. You never know what we could use. So
yeah,
it's like if I don't bring something, I'm like, God damn it, why didn't I bring that? I could have used it,
I know your internet's a lot better now. It must have just been a lag, right?
When you know what? I had it on blur, the background, and I took it off, and now it's fine.
Oh, maybe that's what it was. But yeah, so Eric, Eric and Fran met me at the Smallwood store, and I mean, we literally jumped right into it right when we met. Right, we just
we didn't waste any time.
No,
we did a quick little intro and walked in and just ran with it.
Yeah, but I have to give Todd a lot of credit because I never would have even thought about going down there to do anything like this if it wouldn't have been for Todd and him telling me about the Smallwood store.
I just connected you guys. I'm sitting on top of a good story down here.
Well, Todd is quite a person. I mean, he's like helped produce like one of my favorite shows, Fear, when it was on MTV.
I know, Todd. You hadn't even told us about it. Tell us about it.
Well, yeah, that was a lot of fun. I got to do a lot of, paranormal investigations and stuff myself. I met a lot of guys like you and got to do a lot of different investigations.
And I bet things have changed since then.
Yeah, it's been really fun doing this with you guys.
That we're definitely gonna have to do it again.
Yeah. Hey, I really hate to do this, man, but I'm going to have to hop off. I'm going to let you guys take it from here, okay?
Okay. All right. Thank you, Todd. We appreciate it.
All right, guys. I'll be in touch, Billy. It's
All
good
right.
talking to you, Eric. I'll see you.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye.
All right.
Todd looks like he's been fishing all day.
I think he just, I don't know, something just happened because he jumped off a while ago, and I had to, I was like, did he, is he buffering? What's he doing? And he was off for a couple of minutes. He just left me stranded. Lynn was. Yeah, I know. Well, I would have just ended it if you wouldn't. But Lynn was the owner. Was supposed to come on tonight, and she, I guess something came up, and she got busy. Because I know she does the lion's share at that store, and I'm sure that store just kind of keeps her super busy.
Yeah.
So I would have loved to have to heard more from her and just heard more from well, I don't even know if she's watched it yet, watched the whole documentary and stuff, but let's
Dude, I can't believe like we investigated that night, and I'm like, yeah, we got some EVPs here and there, but like after you reviewed it, all the things that you captured, like it was pretty cool.
I know, man, and I'm still.
That's how it usually works.
Yeah, and like I was telling Todd, I mean, some of the EVPs that I put in there, I mean, they're iffy, but I think that kind of happens on a lot of paranormal investigations. You know,
but there were voices, right?
There definitely were, and when I was not able to decipher or make out, you know, I'd put a graphic down at the bottom that says inaudible talk, because there was something there. I just could, I mean, I'd sit here and listen to it on my headphones 15 times and I still couldn't make it out. So I wasn't going to try to force a word or whatever. But
when in doubt, throw it out. That's my saying.
I know, and I threw a lot of stuff out. But let's for those who are just joining us, let me play the trailer again real quick since you're on now, Eric, and we'll watch that and then we'll come back and talk a little bit more on it.
Chokoloskee.
This is crazy.
Smallwood Store.
We've never investigated this place.
The store was started in 1906. This building here is over 100 years old.
Ted Smallwood purchased half of the island of Chokoloskee, I believe, in 1906 for $600. It has taken on water, I believe, 6 times on this level, last time being Hurricane Irma.
This is our gem on the rough island.
It's a little piece of paradise down here. The store, to me, is authentic Florida. You definitely don't feel alone down here, even when you're just walking around.
There's a lot of activity in that bedroom, and that's where I seen the shadows.
Is that his original rifle?
Edgar Watson showed up in 1890s down in Chokoloskee at the Smallwood Store looking for property to buy. Other people, they would also show up, and Ed put them to work. And when it came time for payment, they were murdered and dropped in the Everglades. In October of 1910, they confronted Ed Watson about what was going on down there. And as he went for his sidearm, that's when he went down in a hail of bullets.
Now, this is where Watson was killed.
Ed Bloody Watson.
What happened to Mr. Watson?
Is that Mr. Watson communicating with us?
I don't like to come back in here after I close at all at night because there is just a feeling. It's definitely strange.
Talk to me.
The Smallwood Store has definitely stood the test of time.
They say at 2 a.m. people get chased out. You scared?
Dude,
you said my name.
what about the devil comes here? What
I don't know. You know what's there's a common thing with all the haunted locations that I've investigated in South Florida is there's some type of Native American relationship to it.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I think that just ignites things.
Me and Todd talked about that for about 5 minutes. We were just talking about, I mean, way before Ed Watson and Ted Smallwood. And just imagine the death and the heartache and the tragedy that happened on that land, which not just there, pretty much, I mean, a vast majority of the United States, but, Todd was saying that they've traced Indians back in that area, that shell island of Chokoloskee, 2800 BC. I mean, we can't even wrap our heads around that as human beings. How long?
No. There were like almost like cities, like developments, like all along the area with all those little islands.
That's crazy. And then you mix in the Edgar Watson stuff and the fact that, I mentioned earlier, Lynn said that there wasn't a hospital in Chokoloskee, so people had to come and get their medicine from there. So imagine the sick people that probably died in the Smallwood Store.
In the early 1900s. It could have been yellow fever. I mean,
Spanish
you were
flu.
there. The mosquitoes were like on steroids. They were huge.
Oh my gosh, dude. I thought mosquitoes were bad where I live in North Carolina, dude. I've never.
And we were there, was it May?
June.
We were there in May? June? Okay.
Yeah.
So we went back later, like a month later, and it was so freaking hot. Franny, Mary Lynn, who was our psychic medium that was there, and another lady that was there. It was so freaking hot that they had to take turns and sit inside the car with the air conditioning on. That's how bad it was.
Yeah. Well, you remember that
how
night?
How the hell could you live in those conditions in those days?
Yeah, with no air conditioning. But that night, man, I got there at like I think 10 o'clock in the morning, 9 o'clock in the morning, and I never left. I mean, I went to the store to get a drink and got something to eat, but I never left, and I pretty much stayed there till 2:30 in the morning, 3 o'clock in the morning. And I'm telling you, my shirt got soaked about 2 or 3 times because it's like I would film and I get really sweaty. Then I get
I'm sweating in the documentary. You see me sweating.
Me too. We all were, man. It was,
we don't care though. We don't care.
No. I mean, with something like that, mosquitoes, heat, I know that I got a job to do. It's like I didn't waste my time to go down there to complain about the heat, and I'm just gonna tough it out, because if I don't get the shot, or if I don't get the B-roll, and we don't do the investigations and make sure the audio and stuff's good, nobody else is gonna do it,
And that was a location I always wanted to investigate. So
and why hadn't you ever done it yet? Before then, why hadn't you done it?
I don't know. I never reached out to them.
Really?
I went there probably like, I don't know, maybe a few years before that. And I was just like talking, but I don't think Lynn was there. I don't know. Maybe it was the other lady. I forget. Brenda. Maybe she was there. No, it wasn't Brenda. It was someone totally different.
Oh, okay.
But I remember them telling me that that they won't stay there alone. The other lady that was there. And I'm like, man, I would love to investigate this place. So she gave me Lynn's card, but I never called her and followed up with it.
I was asking Todd, I was like, I wonder over the years, and I know Todd can't really speak on it because he's not there every day. This would be more of a question for Lynn, but I just wonder how many paranormal investigations they've allowed over the years. I would like to think what we did is probably the most professional thing done there. I would think.
Yeah.
I could be wrong. I don't know, but
yeah, I don't think too many people have, and we're probably the first ones to do a full blown out investigation.
I know. That was cool, man. I was really surprised. Oh, I want to ask you, because Tom mentioned it, the clairvoyant that you mentioned that walked through there, since that's obviously not going to be in the documentary, kind of talk about, if you can recall, kind of first off, where she went within the building and what she was kind of picking up on, if you remember.
Well, Mary Lynn is from Texas, so she didn't know anything about Smallwood. I didn't even tell her where we were going. She just flew into Fort Myers. And I told her we're going to go to a location out in the Everglades.
Oh, wow.
Get ready.
Yeah.
And so we did a walk around the outside. Like you mentioned in the documentary, that's a man-made island. It was built out of shellmitten. So I'm sure that's sacred Native American burial ground. So she was, when you're facing where you walk into the building up the stairs, all the way to the left where the mangroves are.
Yep.
There's like a high ground.
Mm-hmm.
Well, she was sensing something there. She's like, I see dead bodies over there.
Oh, I bet we were walking all over dead bodies. Bones, at least.
Yeah, so you can see like the part of the land rise, and people got to remember, like that area is at sea level or below. So anything to be at a higher level, like, and I'm talking about high level, like I think at one point, I think the highest level is like maybe 4 or 5 feet.
Yeah,
but people are saying that it's been there like during prehistoric times. We don't know like how big it was because of throughout the years and the corrosions and everything. But yeah, she sensed that right in the mangrove. She's like, there's a couple bodies over there. Then we walked around, and the one thing she didn't pick up, and you had mentioned this earlier, like we don't know, there could have been many people who died in the store. They, back in the early 1900s. So she picked up on a woman that passed away inside the store. So we asked Lynn about it, and she couldn't recall. Something like that. But I mean, who knows? I mean, So, I mean, it was a post office. People got things. They got medicine there. They probably went there to get help, and maybe some lady passed away there. Who knows? Or maybe more.
Probably more. I wish I could have filmed her walking through there just to get her raw thoughts without knowing anything, like you said, about that location or the history or the stories.
Oh, I got some video of it. If you want, on the next show, I can put a little something together. And
yeah, definitely. Maybe we can just release it as like a little bonus thing.
I can send you the footage if you want it.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. Yeah. We're done with what we did, but that would be a cool little bonus thing to maybe put out.
And if you even want, we're doing the show on Tuesday again with Franny and I can invite Mary Lynn, and then your perspective, should be more than happy to join.
100%. I mean, even if you want to send her, the documentary to kind of look at, or not, it doesn't matter. Just so she could get a little bit.
She doesn't want to know anything.
Okay.
That's how she does it.
Was Fran able to watch the entire documentary?
Yeah, she couldn't believe the EVPs that was captured during that whole investigation. And I mean, like, what time did we get there? Like
I think it's around 8? 4. No. Y'all got there around 5.
Oh, that's right. Right. But we didn't start.
We didn't start investigating until it's dark outside, but that was around 8.
Yeah. And time flew by. It seemed like we were there for 2 seconds.
I know, man. We got a lot accomplished, and man, there's just so. I mean, I can't even wrap my head around how much stuff we got. I mean, I'm thinking about that picture Tod film or shot and got that mist right by the boat.
Yeah.
Like, I don't even know what that is. Like, how
people got to remember, when you go there, it's like a magical place. I mean, we were sitting there on the dock and we're seeing dolphins swimming around.
That's right. I got video. I didn't include that in the documentary, but I got video on my phone of the dolphins going through.
And the sunsets there are like bright orange and the water's black. It's just the most incredible scene you've ever seen.
Yeah, you were talking when you were talking about the clairvoyant a while ago. You mentioned about the sea level. Yeah, you walk out on the dock on the lower level in front of the store by the water, and I mean the dock's right here, and the water's like right there with it. And we talk about it a lot in the documentary, but it's like, man, the fact that store has been able to survive the numerous amount of hurricanes that have come through.
2 years ago.
No, that was 8 years ago.
8 years. That's still pretty recent,
2017. Yeah.
I mean, it's still an old building.
I know, man. It's crazy to think that building is still there well over 100 years later. I mean, it's so vulnerable. There's nothing to stop.
No, there's nothing.
You know,
I've
so
been to some bad hurricanes, and like
I have
when I was a kid, our house was almost demolished. We had to move out and had to get it renovated for like a year. And this is
dude.
like cement block house, not like pine wood.
Yeah. Listen, I'm born and raised in North Carolina. I've been through some bad hurricanes too.
Yep.
The year after Irma, we had Hurricane Florence come through here, and I sent my wife and my girls actually down to Savannah, Georgia, and they were gone for a week because all the roads got flooded around here. I was up on my roof because there was a big hole in my roof. I was up on there in the middle of the hurricane with a tarp and bricks trying to cover up the hole, and it still went through. And I was able to stop it. If I wouldn't have been here, our house probably would have gotten ruined. Thank goodness, but they were gone for like a week.
Are you close to the coast?
Yeah, we're right on the. You've been to Wilmington. I'm right by the beach.
Oh, okay, you're right by Wilmington.
I'm a mile. The beach is less than a mile from our house. The intercoastal and stuff. Yeah, so
that was bad. Then people like had the flooding up there.
That's what it was from. A lot of the flooding happened after the fact. So much rain.
Yeah.
That hurricane just set over the top of eastern North Carolina for like 3 or 4 days, and it just made all the rivers rise, and so many people lost their houses and stuff from flooding. But
that increases paranormal activity. All that crazy change.
Yeah.
Like barometric pressure and all the things that are like going off. Like we did. Actually, at Gold Coast, I probably told you there was a tropical disturbance. It wasn't like a tropical storm, it wasn't a hurricane, but enough to where there was feeder bands going through. And we were investigating the Gold Coast Rail Museum we were there till like 5:36, and it
during the hurricane.
During the storm, it was. I mean, we had rain going sideways inside the hangar.
How long ago was that?
Maybe like 3 years ago. And
nice.
It's the most active I've ever seen, like from seeing shadow figures, hearing disembodied voices like loud to where the other group on the other side heard it. It was like crazy.
Dude, I'm excited. So for those watching, we also shot another documentary with Eric, a paranormal documentary at the Gold Coast Museum in Miami, and I'm excited to put that one together, man, because what was the other little guy's name that was with us that night?
That was oh my God. It's gonna kill me.
He was also what was his name?
Oh my God, why can't I remember him?
Anyways, well, it was me, you, and him, because we just started investigating. He showed up, and we got some crazy stuff there too, man. I'm excited to put that one together because we were doing. I think our first investigation was in the car where it was like the hospital car or whatever.
The Army medic
car, yeah. And some crazy stuff started happening, instantly. And anyways, we'll get that out on ScareNetwork.
Billy, I'm a ghost magnet, damn it.
Wait, a ghost maggot?
Magnet. Same thing, right?
But anyway, so yeah, let's go back. Let's talk. Get off the track a little bit, but let's talk. And I'm ready to talk on Monday and Tuesday. Do your show on Monday. We're gonna come back on here on Tuesday.
That's right.
More about it. I need to make notes. I'll make notes on Tuesday, just of more specific things. But for those who may never go to Smallwood, to that store, just kind of talk about, if you would, just kind of the feel and the vibe in that store. So
the Ted Smallwood Store, it's in Chokoloskee, Florida, right next to Everglades City. And if people don't know where that is, it's just west of Naples, like out in the middle of the Everglades. So you go out there, and there wasn't a bridge there back then, but you take a bridge, you drive through there, and the locals there are like, the houses are built like Smallwood Store. They're up high.
Yeah.
Because of flooding and hurricanes and things like that. And then when you start driving towards it, right before you pull in the road to drive up there, you can see like the mound, the part of like the highest part of the island. It was Shellman. It was like a burial place. So it's it's on stilts. I want to say, what is it, like 10 feet high? Maybe 8 feet high.
Maybe 8 to 10 feet.
I'm
Yeah.
like 6'1", and I like my head, maybe like 7 because
Yeah,
my
because
head
I
almost touches
walked
it.
under it, and I didn't have that much headroom, and I'm right under
Yeah.
6 foot. So yeah, it's not. I would have thought they would have put it on higher stilts, to be honest, but
Yeah,
but
but
who knows?
yeah, like when you walk in there, they have like a lot of artifacts there. They have a lot of stuff there from the day when it was a general store.
Yep.
They have like the little post office area where they collected the mail. They have a medicine area where the medicines used to be. You know what? I don't know why, but at every haunted location, there's mannequins. It has a mannequin of Ted Smallwood sitting in the rocking chair.
That was a serious mannequin.
Yeah, and there's Indian artifacts, Native American artifacts there.
Yeah.
There's a guy there. Man, I forgot his name. The guy that had the little boat.
Tod Brown.
Yeah. There's like a little memorial with him with his boat there. This guy was like a backwoods guy. He pretty much was in this little teeny boat with a shotgun with all this crap in it, and go out there hunting. And
I've read some stuff up on him, man. I guess he used to do drug. Well, his story's pretty well known. I need to read more on him. Tod Brown. I guess he's pretty well known in that area, but I guess he used to do drug running and some other stuff. I think he did some
that
prison
wouldn't surprise me, because when I graduated high school, I went into aviation to become a pilot. And Everglades City, that's the mainland right next to Chokoloskee Island.
Yeah.
There's a little strip runway there, and that was the place back in the 80s where they would do drop-offs there.
Yeah.
And it's pretty hairy to do a touch and go there because the runway is so short, and if you don't make it, you're in the water.
Yeah.
So I've done a few of them there. We would fly over there and then park the plane and then go get oysters.
Oh, nice.
But yeah, there was a lot of drug running back in the 80s, especially that airport, which is like, I'm going to say it's probably a couple miles from Smallwood Store. So there could have been death from that as well. A lot that we don't know it. And also another thing that you did, I don't know if you know, but not too far from there, there's Loop Road. And Loop Road used to be a logging road when they were cutting down the big cypress trees, because they used to be a lot bigger before they cut a lot of them down. But Al Capone had a hideout there during Prohibition, and he used to have prostitutes there, knock people out there.
Oh, wow. I didn't know that.
That whole area has had sightings of skunk ape. I mean,
yeah,
a lot of weird stuff in that area.
Oh, dude, I shot a whole skunk ape story while I was down there too. I interviewed Dave Shealy,
nice.
who's probably got the most famous skunk ape footage ever. He filmed that a couple of different times, but I did a long interview with him. I haven't put that together yet either.
Yeah, we filmed the episode not too far from there, the Florida Value Jet crash by the memorial.
I know, we were talking about that, man. I wish we'd have had time. I wish I'd have had time to go out there. I distinctly remember that because that happened like a couple weeks after I graduated high school.
That was like in the 90s, I believe.
Yeah, I graduated in 96. It happened. Well, so I went on a cruise out of Miami my senior year. And I think we flew down to Miami. And I think that crash happened right around the same time when we went on that cruise. So it would have been like May or June of 96, I believe. It was so tragic, man, that happened.
Yeah, it was.
but I wish uh, how active was that location? I didn't
You
see.
know, like we were like, damn, we want to film somewhere and investigate. And it's like off a whim, I was like, let's go check out the memorial over there and see what's going on, see if we can get anything. And the memorial is probably like not hundreds of yards. It's not even a half a mile. It's like a really close to where the actual crash site happened.
Yeah.
And the memorial is pretty cool. It's a triangle of pillars, and each pillar represents a passenger that died on that airplane. And it's like in a triangle, and the point is pointing to where the crash is. So when the sun went down, the mosquitoes were freaking nuts. But dude, we were doing the Delco session. We were getting like coordinates, like, you know, when you're listening to an air traffic controller, head 180 degrees to the south or whatever. We were hearing things like that. We got I can't fly. And the sad part was we were picking up on a little girl, and we were getting that I'm looking for my mom. So,
oh man,
it was pretty wild. We never thought we would get anything like that.
That is sad. What did cause that? Do you remember what caused that plane crash? Is it mechanical error or pilot error?
Yeah, there was I think there was a fire in one of the compartments, and they lost control. And the thing is with that crash is it did a nosedive and went straight into the Everglades.
Oh god!
And there's like I don't know, thousands and thousands and thousands of years of muck that's been building up there. So when it hit that muck in the Everglades, it was like a suction cup. It sucked it in.
Oh god!
They said the smallest body part that they found was a knee. That's how bad it was.
Yeah.
Unlike Eastern Flight 401, where some people actually survived the crash.
You remember that flight? Gosh, maybe been 10 years ago that just got lost south of Indonesia or whatever. They've never found the plane or anything. I can't
There's
remember.
a documentary on that on Netflix, I think.
Yeah, because I think maybe one little piece of the plane maybe washed up somewhere on some island that they found a few years ago. But that's awful, man. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Just shows you how big the oceans and stuff are.
We're small. We're very small.
We are just like the Smallwood Store. No, I was kidding. But anyway, so going back to the Smallwood Store and whatnot. The vibe and stuff in there, I never felt anything negative. I never felt threatened. Talk about how you felt and whatnot when we shot that night.
Well, when we walked in there, you know, I sort of felt a vibe when I first walked in there. I don't know if it's a vibe of it being an old building and all the things there, but I don't know. There were some things that I couldn't explain, like hearing footsteps. The vibe changed. It was funny because they were saying, and I think Lynn said this, that like they've had investigators there and they couldn't stay till 2.
Yeah.
So at the end, I go inside by myself.
Yeah.
Totally different vibe, and I heard footsteps, and I don't know. It was
we got footsteps. We got footsteps probably about 20 minutes before you went in by yourself when we were investigating over there by Toch Brown's boat. There were some unexplained footsteps, and there was nobody else in the building at that time.
And the weird thing is, I think we had, I don't know if it was that night or another night, we had the motion sensor out in that area, and it was going off by itself. It was sensing motion.
That must have been the other night. No, your EDIs. Yeah, your EDIs were going crazy at a couple of different spots that we were investigating in there. But But yeah, so I know that Michael and them had to. Man, I would have stayed in there to probably 4 o'clock in the morning if they
I
would
was
have.
gonna say till the sun came up.
I would have too, to be honest with you.
What I really wanted to see was that doll do something. I know we got a little activity. I don't know if a cat ball or REM
Cat
pod came
ball,
off.
yeah,
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 and that lights up. It's a ball that senses motion, so it lights up when it senses motion. But you gotta like really move it. It don't just if you blow on it, it won't move. It will
yeah.
light up.
That doll was freaky, but as you know, man, it's like about any haunted location you go to, there's going to be a creepy old doll. That's just a given.
Yeah. Well, they claim that doll moves around. They said that they locked up the place, came in there, and it was on the other side of the room. And you know what's funny? I did a little like reel, like a
Uh-huh.
TikTok, Instagram thing. And
Uh-huh.
and when I posted that, people started coming to the store just to see that. It was so
Oh,
funny.
really?
Yeah. That's what Brenda was saying.
Nice. Yeah. Um, well, I said this in my last, so I shot one in my last documentary or that I put out for Scare Network was I shot in Missouri at this old house called the Glen House, and it was freaky. They had a ton of dolls in there too. But that house was cool, man. That house was built in like probably 1870s, 1880s. And I said this in the last one I was with the investigators I was working with on that project. I was like, man, I wish these dolls would just get up and just start dancing. And one of the guys is like, I don't. He's like, you won't see me again if that happens.
Well, the Smallwood Store, Chokoloskee Island, it's a magical spiritual place,
Yeah.
I mean, as soon as the sun goes down, you get the sunsets and the dolphins come out. The only thing that I was a little bit concerned is about crocodiles or alligators.
As far as what coming up while we were filming.
Yeah, me not paying attention or something because we're pretty close to the water.
We were. I didn't even think about that.
And then Lynn had that little dog, and the dog was just going all over the place. And I'm like, I mean, we got a python epidemic out there too. I mean,
that dog chewed up one of my wireless mics.
Oh no!
But no, that
he don't like that. He don't like that doll though.
So I was shooting some B-roll, and I left my audio case that I have all my mics and stuff in on the ground, and I should have known better. And all of a sudden, I hear some thumping around the corner, and I'm on the other side with the camera, and I run around the corner, and he's like dragging one of my wireless mics down that wooden floor, and I'm like, dude, that wireless mic's like $300. Like it's one of his toys. It's fine. It was fine. I put some electric
The
tape on
hazards
it.
of filming.
Yeah, I know. But in the documentary, Lynn told this crazy story about the little dog being tied up outside, and she's like, nobody tied him up. You remember that?
Yeah, that's crazy.
She said she was worried about a gator coming up and eating this stuff. I think they've gotten another little dog since then. I've seen some pictures.
Because she said she lives right on the water, and she says sometimes like they'll see like a big old croc out there. Yeah, we got crocs down there too. Crocodiles, is that crazy? Crocodiles, alligators, pythons.
I mean, there's alligators and stuff here, but not anything like down there. That's crazy, man. That guy Michael who works at the store, who actually gave a great interview. He didn't even want to give an interview, but I'm glad he did because he added a lot to it. But he was just telling me off camera that he's like, yeah, last week there was a 9-footer in my backyard, and I had to call wildlife, and they came and got her. Like it was just a casual thing. Like there's just a 9-foot gator in his backyard. And then he said he's had to get pythons removed. I was like, oh my gosh, how can you have animals down there? I'd be scared to have an animal down there.
You know, one of my good friends works for the Miami-Dade County Venom Unit.
Mm-hmm.
And they actually had a show on Travel Channel called Swamp Wars. And he's the person that it would get calls like, hey, I got a gator in my pool, or hey, I got a python, or, you know, I got a water moccasin, anything reptilian. He was the one that would go there and, get it.
Would you rather fight a ghost or fight an alligator?
A ghost.
Me too.
Well, I don't know. I'm more scared of snakes.
Oh, I hate snakes too.
I just don't like the way they feel.
I don't want to feel one.
When the heck right? I felt it just to try, and I'm like, ugh.
I hate snakes. I feel while I was down there in Florida too, I tried to do a python documentary, or at least a short thing on it. I went out with some python hunters, and they were all ready to jump out of the truck and capture one, and they never did. We never saw any. But I bet we saw 5,000 alligators. Well, it's dark. You could just see their eyes and the little streams and whatever. That's kind of freaky. But yeah, man, I going back to Smallwood and all that, man. First off, I'm grateful and thankful that you and Fran, agreed to help me out and to come and do the investigation and take you guys' time out of your schedule to come and do it. So I appreciate that. I
really enjoyed it. We had a blast. And plus you did an amazing job. People got to watch it.
I know.
So right down there.
Exactly. So so just for those still watching, this documentary is going to premiere on November 25th, which is next Tuesday. Exclusively on the ScareNetwork, and I just kind of wanted to release it. I said this earlier when Todd was on, just kind of wanted to release it right before Thanksgiving, just so we could have just a brand new original film out on the platform, something that no one's ever seen before. So I'm excited about it, and I hope people will get excited about it and take the time to watch it. And like I said, I mean, I think you and Franny did an amazing job, man, and y'all brought a lot to the table and helped me out tremendously. So
that's what I try to do.
So but yeah, let's maybe wrap this up, and then let's talk. We're going to do another live here on Tuesday. We'll get Fran on and get, what was the clairvoyant? Mary Lynn. We'll get Mary Lynn on, and then I'll see if Lynn's available. I'd love to get her on as well to just kind of talk to her. I just want to know what her thoughts is after she watched. I don't know that she's watched it yet. I just want to know what she thinks about it after she actually watches.
Well, it'll be cool when you come on my show on Monday. Mike will be on, and he knows a lot about the Everglades and all that stuff. He does a lot of hunting, and actually he that's like a place he would love to investigate. So it'd be interesting to hear his input on it.
Well, if you haven't already, send him the link to watch the whole documentary, so he can, when we do your show, so he can kind of be familiar with kind of what we got and just the layout and the history and the story and all that stuff.
And for anyone that's watching now, you can watch that on the Haunted Files YouTube page. It's the Haunted Files Unplugged radio show, and we'll be live with Billy from the ScareNetwork TV Monday at 9 p.m.
Yeah, and we'll talk about the Smallwood documentary and talk about other stuff, and then Eric and Franny and others are going to be on. We're going to come back and do another live on Tuesday once the documentary is released. I think I might try to release it like midnight Tuesday, late Monday, like after our show, like when it hits midnight. I think I may release it to the public and hope people will take the time to watch it. That's why I wanted us to do the live on Tuesday, so hopefully some people will have seen the entire documentary and can maybe chime in and ask some questions and stuff. But yeah, I was pleasantly surprised with the way it turned out. When I left and was actually driving back to North Carolina, I didn't know what we had gotten or if we'd even gotten anything that was going to be worth a flip. I mean, I knew we got good interviews, but the paranormal evidence, but I'm always like that. I'm like, man, did we get enough?
No, I mean, like, did you hear that? And you're like, I don't know. And then you're probably like with the headphones, like, holy shit, I did hear that.
Yeah. Yeah. It's crazy, man, when you hear a voice and you just
Yeah.
can't explain it. To
Yeah.
me, that's the most valid piece of paranormal evidence.
Yeah. I like how can you fake? I mean, other than like, even if you had like a picture of a full bodied apparition, people are going to say you faked it.
Exactly. I know. That's why I feel like in paranormal, you can't win. But I mean, listen, you got sent a picture and you heard me question that. And if I was faking something, I definitely would have put that picture in there. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So,
Right.
so it's not in the documentary. And I said it wasn't going to be in the documentary.
Well, it's
So
all about credibility. I mean,
exactly. And that's what I try to
once you
pride myself.
mess up like that,
Yeah.
no one's going to believe you on anything. And I'm here to share what I capture to the people.
Yeah.
Paranormal, and this is what I captured.
Yeah.
You look at it and you think, and you tell me what you think. This is what I'm here to show you. What's
That's
out
my
there.
philosophy too. I mean, like I said, even some of the EVPs that I left in, I'm like, was it that? Maybe, maybe not. But at least we can put it out there and people can make their own assertions or their own judgments as to
Yeah,
if it actually said something or not. But
a
I
lot of
think
them were clear though.
yeah, I think that's the beauty in being able to be a storyteller and to be able to put something out like that. And what I love more than anything is the fact that we were able to go there and, like we said earlier, probably do one of the most extensive paranormal documentaries or just investigations, period, on that certain location. I love that location
Yeah,
is really kind of untapped, if you will. You know,
yeah, and we didn't even have enough time. I mean,
I
we
know.
still need more time, and I couldn't.
I
The thing is, what people don't understand is spirits were people too, right?
yeah.
Maybe it's a residual, but if it's an intelligent spirit, they're like people. So they get to know you, they start opening up more. And, the more frequent I investigate a place, I end up getting more things to the point that I feel like they already know me and they say my name like I'm command. It's crazy.
I know, I know. I wish we, like we said earlier, I wish we could have stayed till sunrise or at least gone back another night. I feel like if we'd have gone back another night, I probably could have made this into a two-part
Oh,
series.
yeah,
No,
easily. No, you could have made it to like an 8-part series full out documentary.
man, it's crazy. I've been on like 2-day shoots before on other projects.
I mean, Edgar Watson's plantation, like, let's find some bodies,
Well, it's funny you said that because I was saying to Todd, if I'd have had more time,
Get a
because
metal detector.
well, not just that, if we even could have gone out to where his house was, obviously his house has been gone for a long time, but if we could have gone out there and just done an investigation where his house was in that
Yeah.
area, just
Yeah.
imagine what we would have gotten out there. And
And
it's
I
funny.
think some of the foundation's still there, just not the actual. There's
So,
still parts of it.
well, Lynn asked, she's like, "Hey, I got a boat going out there." It was like on a Thursday morning at like 8 o'clock, um, but I would have had to stay out there till like 3 or 4 o'clock in the afternoon. I had some other stuff set up and I just couldn't do it. But man, maybe if we can
Return to Chokoloskee Island.
exactly, maybe we do another investigation at the store and take the time to go out to that island, dude. That would be sick to go. I know that probably be the only one to ever do an investigation out there.
January or February, please.
Would the mosquitoes be a lot less then?
Yeah.
Dude.
I don't care. I'll get a bug suit, damn it.
Hey, we'll just go out there in one of those space suits and nah, that dude, yeah, that's yeah, the mosquitoes. Ah,
My daughter, we used to go camping and my daughter would go and the bugs loved her. So I had like a mosquito suit. There's like a net from the head all the way to the toe. You just get in it, cover her head. It's like a little hoodie and like thing over. And she hung out. It's happy.
When I went to when I interviewed Dave Shealy at his Bigfoot Skunk Ape Museum, we were out back and they've got some little ponds and stuff out there. And I'm telling you, after I interviewed him, I actually interviewed him in like a little hut, but so it was covered. But when we got out, it was raining a little bit, and I have never, and the rental car I had was white. My whole rental car was almost black. I had to FaceTime my wife. It was black. There was just mosquitoes all over the car.
Yeah,
it's like, what the freak is?
Yeah.
Anyways, so yeah, we're gonna talk next week. If you're still watching, go subscribe to Scare Network. It's only $4.99 a month. Cancel anytime. And at this point, we got hundreds of movies on there. I mean, we got horror movies, we got true crime, we got paranormal, we got monster, Bigfoot, alien, all kinds of stuff on there.
Forget Discovery Plus. They got nothing new.
I know. What? Ghost Adventures.
And it's like, yeah, and then it's like, it's less than half the price.
I know, dude, it's $5. You go get a coffee at Starbucks, you're gonna pay more than that. But
Big Mac meal is like 3 times more.
If you're into paranormal, man, we got some good original stuff you're not gonna find anywhere else. So everybody check it out. But Eric, yeah, thanks for hopping on, man. I appreciate it. And I'm excited to talk next week too, more about it. So
all right.
Yeah. Everyone have a good night. Go check out Scare Network. Eric, I appreciate it. You have a good night, and we'll talk next week.
All right. Take care.
All right. Thanks, brother.